Hello everyone, I am Ritesh Harode from Department of Mechanical Engineering, NIT Polytechnic, Nagpur. I welcome you to the course Power Engineering and Refrigeration for the 5th semester Diploma in Mechanical Engineering students. This is one of the most important course as far as mechanical engineer concerned. In this course, we are going to learn about different equipments which are related to power development and utilization of power. Therefore, this course aims to learn about construction and working of power producing and power absorption device which are very essential not only in mechanical industries but also in our daily life. These equipment are very useful for mankind. For example, IC engine, air compressor and gas turbines, jet engines are some of the examples of such equipments. We will also learn to analyze the working of these equipments and calculate the performance of IC engine, turbines and compressor. The course will enhance the working knowledge of maintenance and testing of such equipments. After completion of this course, the learner will be able to select the suitable prime mover for any application and to maintain the same. This course also gives the basic of refrigeration and air conditioning equipment which plays a vital role in maintaining controlled atmosphere in different domestic and industrial applications. जैसा कि हमें पता है कि रेफ्रिजरेशन और एयर कंडीशनिंग इक्विपमेंट हम हमारे घर में भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं और कई इंडस्ट्रीज़ में, फूड पैकेजिंग इंडस्ट्रीज़ में, मिल्क इंडस्ट्री, डेयरी प्रोडक्ट को प्रिजर्व करने के लिए भी ज़रूरी होता है. So in this course we are going to learn about refrigeration and air conditioning equipment also. Outcome for power engineering and refrigeration. After completing the course, the student will be able to identify different components of an IC engine and its auxiliary, that is the support system of IC engine. Second, they test the performance of IC engine. The first two chapters of this course are dedicated to study the construction and working of IC engine. So after completion, these two chapters, the student will be able to identify different components of IC engine. They will also be able to test the performance of IC engine, calculate the various factors which are useful to check the performance of IC engine. The third chapter is dedicated to air compressor. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the construction working of reciprocating air compressor. We are going to calculate the performance of air compressor, and after performing the various practicals, we will be able to maintain the reciprocating air compressor. The fourth chapter of this course is used dedicated to gas turbines and jet engines. In this, we are going to learn about the different components of gas turbine and jet engines. So after completion of these two chapters, the student will be able to identify the various applications of gas turbine. Next, we are going to learn about the refrigeration and air conditioning system. As these two equipments are very commonly used in domestic as well as industrial application. So these are the total course outcome of power engineering and refrigeration. So before starting with the course of power engineering and refrigeration, it is very much necessary for the learner to have a prerequisite knowledge of thermal engineering. And for our good, we have already learned a subject thermal engineering in the third semester of diploma in mechanical engineering program. In third semester, we have learned about the fundamentals of thermodynamics. We have gone through the different properties of system such as pressure, volume, energy, internal energy. We have also gone through the concept of pure substance and working substance. We have learned the concept of heat and work and how they are converted into each other. We have learned about the laws of thermodynamics, that is first law, second law and third law of thermodynamics, and also a zeroth law of thermodynamics. We have learned about the ideal gas process such as the constant volume process, constant pressure process, adiabatic process, polytropic process, etc. We also learned to plot these processes on PV and TS diagram. The knowledge of these is very much essential in learning power engineering. We have also gone through the concept of heat transfer like convection, conduction, radiation, which are very useful in the equipments like IC engine, gas turbine and air compressors. So before going to start the course of power engineering and refrigeration, a student should have a knowledge of these basic fundamentals of thermal engineering. I request all the students to please go through the thermal engineering and revise these topics. Again, I welcome you to this course of power engineering and refrigeration. We are going to start with the first chapter of internal combustion engines. In this chapter, we are going to learn about construction and working of IC engine. We will learn about the different air standard cycles such as Carnot, Otto and diesel cycle. In this first video lecture, we are going to start with the introduction to heat engines and the terminology of engine. Before starting with the video, let's understand the session outcomes of this video lecture. After completion of this video lecture, the learner will be able to, number one, identify different components of IC engine and its auxiliaries. The learner will be able to describe the functions of engine parts. He will be able to explain the working principle of heat engines. And in the end, the learner will be able to define the engine terminology. So let's the heat engine. So a heat engine The first question which arises to our mind is, what is heat engines? A heat engine is a device that converts thermal energy into mechanical energy. In thermal engineering, we have learned about the first law of thermodynamics, which says the conversion of heat energy into mechanical energy. The device which is used to convert thermal or heat energy into a mechanical work or a mechanical energy is known as heat engine. There are lots of examples of heat engines. For example, there is a multi-cylinder engine which is used in various cars, trucks and buses. We are having a turbine which is also a type of heat engine which is used in power plant, gas turbine power plants, and also a jet engine which is also one type of turbine. All these applications use the energy of fuel and convert it into a mechanical energy. Now, the working principle. According to the first law of thermodynamics, which says that energy can be converted from one form to another form. As we know, we are having lots of sources of energy. We are having uh, various types of fuel which is used to produce the energy. We are having coal, gas, and crude oil, such as which is then converted into petrol and diesel. These all crude oil cannot be directly used for as a energy. In our industries, in our homes, we always need mechanical energy. For example, to work a fan, we need electrical energy, which is then again converted into mechanical energy. So, the heat engine, first of all, convert the chemical energy. The energy which is fuel is having inside them is known as chemical energy. So, in heat engine, first this energy is converted into a heat energy by combustion. This combustion takes place in a controlled manner, and then this heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. So, this is the working of. Now, let's start with the types of heat engine. There are very different types of heat engines, but we are only at this particular time we are only learn about the basic classification of heat engines. Now, on the basis of how this thermal energy is being delivered to working fluid of the heat engine are mainly classified into two main types. Number one is internal combustion engine and external combustion engine. The common examples of internal combustion engines are petrol engines, diesel engines, and some other types of engines. These internal combustion engines are very compact in size. The combustion takes place in the engine itself. That's why they are very small. अब जो कंबशन हो रहा है वो इंजन के अंदर ही होता है. हमारे गाड़ी में जो इंजन लगा हुआ होता है उसके अंदर जो फ्यूल बर्न होता है वो इंजन के अंदर होता है. तो इसीलिए और पावर जो मैकेनिकल कन्वर्ट होता है वो इंजन के अंदर ही हो जाता है. तो इसीलिए जो इंटरनल कंबशन इंजन होता है वो साइज में बहुत छोटा होता है. बट द एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन, जैसा कि नाम लिखा हुआ है एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन, यानी जो कंबशन होगा वो इंजन के बाहर होगा. So that's why it is known as external combustion engine. So these engines are bigger in size because many components are used. The number of components in these engines are more, and these engines are, the common examples are steam engines. We have seen the old लोकोमोटिव मॉडल, जैसे पुराने ट्रेन के इंजन होते थे, स्टीम इंजन होते थे, उसमें एक बहुत बड़ा इंजन लगा हुआ होता था. सो दैट इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन. द मोस्ट कॉमन एग्जांपल इज पावर प्लांट. जैसे कि हमने थर्मल एनर्जी में पढ़ा, इंजीनियरिंग में पढ़ा था कि थर्मल पावर प्लांट इज वन ऑफ द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन, जिसमें हम बॉयलर होता है जहां पर कंबशन होता है बॉयलर में, और एनर्जी हीट एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट होती है, और जो मैकेनिकल एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस होती है टरबाइन में होती है. उसमें बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट्स भी यूज किए जाते हैं. सो दैट इज द एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन. तो सबसे पहले हम लोग देख लेते हैं कि व्हाट इज एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन. जैसा कि नाम लिखा हुआ है एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन, तो the combustion will be takes place outside the engine. So in this case the various heat exchangers are used. जैसा थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने कहा था कि बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट्स हमको जरूरत होती है इन एक्सटर्नल कंबशन इंजन. The external combustion engine works on open and closed cycle also. कुछ एग्जाम्पल स्टीम इंजन और थर्मल पावर प्लांट. हमने थर्मल इंजीनियरिंग सब्जेक्ट में एक थर्मल पावर प्लांट के बारे में पढ़ा था, जिसमें एक बॉयलर होता है जिसके अंदर हम लोग कोल की केमिकल एनर्जी को हीट एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, एंड देन स्टीम प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, जो स्टीम से हम लोग एक टरबाइन को रोटेट करते हैं, एंड देन वी कन्वर्ट इट इनटू इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी. टरबाइन produces mechanical energy, and then by using generator, that chemical energy heat energy is converted into electrical energy by a generator. So these are the basic examples of external combustion engine. In this, in this course we are going to focus on internal combustion engine. In internal combustion engine, the combustion of fuel, it takes place inside the engine itself. The fuel, the working fluid in this engine is a fuel. Fuel is a working medium. So we use petrol, diesel, or a CNG gas or LPG gas as a fuel in different types of IC engines. So in this type of engine, the working fluid is replenished, means it is finished, it is used completely. So we use fuel, and after the fuel is converted into heat energy, it remains in the form of exhaust gas, which is of no use to us, so it is released to atmosphere. For this particular reason, all the IC engine works on open cycles only. Clear? So all the IC engine works on open cycle, and we need a fresh fuel after each cycle. So there are some common examples of IC engine, that is reciprocating engines, jet engines. These both are IC engines because the construction takes place inside the IC engine. And because the construction of combustion takes place inside the engine, the size of these engines are reduced by a very great extent. And because of the smaller size, it is easier for us to carry these engines with the vehicle itself. So that's why these IC engines are used in vehicles, in aeroplanes and all. So this was the basics of IC engine, basic components of IC engine. In IC engine, This figure shows the basic diagram of IC engine, in which we can see a single cylinder reciprocating IC engine. Now look at this. We are having the first part, a most important part, and is known as cylinder. We are having a hollow cylinder in which a slider is used, which is known as piston. This piston reciprocates inside the cylinder. This piston is connected to a crank through a connecting rod. Together, these four components form a mechanism, which we have already learned last year, fourth semester, in theory of a machine subject. We have learned about crank and slider mechanism. So this is the same mechanism. So we are having a hollow cylinder, a piston, a crankshaft, and a connecting rod. The piston reciprocate inside the cylinder, and the motion of piston, reciprocating motion of piston, is converted into a rotary motion of crank by using this mechanism. Inside this cylinder, a combustion of fuel takes place, and every time we need a new fuel for per cycle. So that's why we are having an inlet valve and we are having a exhaust valve. In the next lecture, we are going to learn about the different basic working of this engine, how this heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. For this particular instant, अभी के लिए हमें इतना ही याद रखना है कि कितने टाइप्स के इसमें कंपोनेंट्स हैं. हमें पता चला है कि सिलेंडर है, उसके बाद पिस्टन, कनेक्टिंग रॉड एंड क्रैंकशाफ्ट. The most important terminology of an engine. Now look at this picture. We are having here a cut section diagram of an single cylinder engine, in which we are seeing a hollow cylinder and piston, then connecting rod is there and a crankshaft also. So before moving to other topics, we must know about the basic terminology, which is very useful. Now here the first one is TDC. Now the topmost position of the cylinder is known as TDC, that is top dead center. Then similarly, the bottom position of the cylinder is known as BDC, that is bottom dead center. Now when the engine works, this piston reciprocates from TDC to BDC and BDC to TDC. This motion of a cylinder is known as swept volume. Then the next important definition or a terminology, we must know that when the piston moves to top dead center, the small clearance gap is present inside the cylinder and piston. This volume is known as clearance volume. And the last one, the length by which the piston moves, that is from TDC to BDC and from BDC to TDC, this volume is known as a stroke of piston. Clear? So this is a terminology which will be very useful to us, that is TDC, BDC, clearance volume, and swept volume, and a stroke. So this is a very important terminology. We are going to stop in the next lecture. We are going to learn about how this IC engine work and how these are connected to a power cycle. Thank you. Keep learning and wait for the next lecture. Thank you.